It's very short. It's not the sort of 2.5 hour or 3 hour film. There aren't any songs and dances, alas. But I hope the movie kind of moves you in the way that it did all of us. It's about a traveling cinema, and traveling cinemas are not something that existed years ago, or this is not sort of nostalgia, but it's a modern day phenomena in India. Trucks which have these movie projectors which are traveling in different parts of the country and going out to show movies to people. I'd always wanted to make a road movie because I thought the idea of just leaving a city of 18 million people and trying to really discover what this country, what my country is all about, is something that I've been wanting to do for a long while. And then I thought of a story around the traveling cinema. So I called a friend of mine who was a young distributor and asked him, hey, what do you think about this idea of a young guy who jumps into a truck and drives it from one part of India to another? He said, well, guess what? Did you know that 70% of the Indian population still watches movies out in the open? I decided to see it for myself, so I jumped into a car and I drove 6 hours outside of Bombay to a barren land, a completely open field with not a soul in sight, except for a green truck, a tiny truck which was parked in the distance. And by about sunset, there were, just a bit before sunset, there were about 3 or 4 people in the horizon who came. Some kids came and gathered. And then this young man decided, okay, I think probably it's time for me to set this thing up, and it's showtime. So he stretched out this really large sheet across the horizon in the middle of nowhere. And by 9 o'clock at night, there were 3,000 people there. And then he began to show movies, and it went on all night long. And somewhere, I think out of sheer exhaustion, I must have just fallen asleep. And when I woke up a few hours later, at about 6 in the morning, and I opened my eyes, there was not a soul in sight.